If I gave you $1,000 right now and told you to turn it into 100,000 without ever adding another single dollar of your own, how long do you honestly think it would take? 10 years? 20 years? Maybe even 30 years? Take a guess before you keep watching. I sat down and ran the math three completely different ways, and the answer changes dramatically depending on exactly what you do with the first $1,000. Here's the experiment we're going to run together. Everyone in this scenario starts exactly with the same amount, exactly $1,000, not a penny more. No extra deposits, no monthly contributions. You put in the original $1,000 once, and after that, you don't add another dollar. Just $1,000, sitting there, untouched, left completely alone to do whatever it's going to do, for as long as it takes. Then we give that same $1,000 three different average annual growth rates, and we watch, side by side, on how long each one actually takes to reach 100,000. First up, let's look at the slow lane. It's where most people end up, without even realizing that they're on it. Imagine your money sitting in an account, earning an average of just 1% a year after year after year. Your $1,000 is not losing value, it's still growing. The problem is that it's growing so slowly you can barely notice it. After waiting 10 full years, your original $1,000 has grown to just $1,105. That's only $105 more after an entire decade. After 20 long years, double the wait, your balance has only crept up to $1,220. After 40 years, basically an entire generation, your original $1,000 has only become $1,489. And remember the goal here. We are trying to reach a full 100,000, starting from just $1,000. At just 1% a year, you'll need roughly 463 years to turn that original $1,000 into a full $100,000. That's not really a retirement plan anymore. It's money you're leaving behind for your great-great-grandchildren to maybe enjoy one day. Now let's change just one single thing about the entire experiment and see what happens next. The starting amount stays exactly the same, still $1,000, and the effort you put in stays exactly the same too, meaning zero. But now, let's assume that the same $1,000 compounds at a much healthier average of 9% a year, instead of just 1%. After 10 years at this new rate, your $1,000 has already grown to $2,367. After 20 years, that number has climbed all the way up to $5,604. After 30 years, you're now sitting comfortably at $13,268 and is still climbing. And this is where compound growth starts to get really interesting, and honestly, a little strange. Because at first, the growth feels almost invisible, but then something unexpected starts to happen. For the first few decades, it honestly does not look that impressive. The numbers move slowly, and it can feel like almost nothing is happening. The numbers do move, but they move slowly enough that most people give up before anything exciting starts to happen. Then seemingly out of nowhere, year 40 arrives, and that balance jumps all the way to $31,409. By year 50, that number has exploded to roughly $74,000, and it's still climbing fast. And somewhere around year 54, the original humble $1,000 finally crosses the finish line we've been chasing this whole time. $100,000 in full, starting from the very same $1,000, with the very same zero extra deposits along the way. Just a slightly higher growth rate, and enough time and patience to let your money keep working. That's all it takes to completely change the outcome. Now let's just push the assumption even higher and see how much faster things can possibly move. Now, let's say, just for this example, that the same money grew by an average of 12% every year. This is the fast lane everyone dreams about, but as always, there's a pretty significant catch attached to it. Higher potential returns usually come with a much bumpier ride. Your money can grow faster, but the ups and downs can be a lot harder to handle. Some years along this path can look absolutely incredible, with huge double digits gains that feel amazing. Other years, though, not so much at all, and some can even feel genuinely painful to watch. And this is the part most people leave out when they talk about compound growth online. They show you the big numbers, but not the bumps you face along the way. The line does not have to climb smoothly at all. Your account balance can fall, and sometimes it can fall quite dramatically. And that's exactly where the real test really begins. Can you actually stay invested when your account graphs look like this one? But if that 12% average somehow stayed the same for the whole period we're looking at, the results would be completely different. That same original $1,000 could theoretically reach 100,000 in roughly just 41 years, over a decade faster. Now let's look at all three scenarios side by side. Same exact starting point, same $1,000, no additional money added ever. One path takes around 463 years, another takes about 54 years. In that 12% scenario, just around 41 years. That's right, there is a raw, undeniable power of simply changing your average growth rate. But here's what I personally find even more interesting than all of that. Look closely at that 9% path again. For the first 20 whole years, it genuinely barely looks like anything is happening at all. $1,000 slowly becoming $5,604. But then, almost suddenly, the curve itself starts bending upward in a way you can finally see. The money is not suddenly working any harder than before. The math itself has not changed one bit. You've simply given compounding enough time to finally become visible. And this is exactly where so many people end up making one of the most expensive mistakes of their entire financial lives. They look at those early, unimpressive years, see a number that feels far too small to matter, and they simply give up too soon. Imagine stopping right at year 20 out of pure frustration. You would look at $5,604 and think to yourself, this clearly is not working. But that exact curve you were looking at is the very same curve that eventually goes to reach the full $100,000. So, what's the real lesson hiding in all of this? It's not that you need some magical investment, and it's not that $1,000 is secretly a hidden fortune. The real honest advantage here is time itself. The longer you leave your money quietly working in the background, the more powerful compounding steadily becomes. The $1,000 you start with does not need to look impressive today. It does not need to make you rich overnight, or even the next year. It just needs to actually start, that's all. And then, you have to give it something most people are genuinely terrible at giving their own money. Time. Just time. The one resource that costs you nothing extra, and yet almost nobody is willing to actually give it. $1,000. That's genuinely all it takes to begin this entire experiment from the very start. Three completely different growth assumptions, tested side by side, using nothing but the exact same starting point. Three wildly, dramatically different timelines, all stemming from that one single decision about where your money sits. And that's precisely why starting early can end up mattering so much more in the long run than starting big. So here's the real question I want you to sit with for just a moment before you go. If you genuinely had $1,000 sitting in your hands today, right now, in this very moment, would you rather start the clock running immediately, right now, today, at this very second? Or would you rather wait around until you somehow have more money to begin with? Tell me your honest answer down in the comments below. I genuinely want to know. Because with compounding, of all things in the entire world of money, the clock is already running right now, whether you've decided to start yet or not.